Good morning. I hope all are fine and safe by grace of God. Welcome to the English class. Today we are going to learn the degrees of comparison. Some other parents, not all the parents, some other parents are compare their children with other children. They have to say you are not as good as opposite boy or opposite girl. Suppose they have to compare our healthy also. The opposite boy is healthier than you. Sometimes we have compare ourselves with other person. Suppose we are very shorter or shortest of all. So we have to be compare ourselves. For example, why don't we shorter than other? Why don't I, the tallest person of all? Why don't I as tall as other person? We have to know all the comparison words. But you are asking the questions in your mind. You are asking me also, of course. Why should we need degrees of comparison? Why should we need to learn degrees of comparison? Because if you learn degrees of comparison, you are able to speak and write English properly. That is why we have to learn degrees of comparison. Sometimes we make mistakes. We make error while speaking in English. So that is why I am asking you to learn degrees of comparison. For example, if you buy anything, pen or sarees or whatever it is, we used to say this saree very cheap and best. Isn't it wrong to say? Isn't it error? Cheap is in a positive degree. Best is in a superlative degree. So both the degree should not be combined to say. Isn't it very wrong? Isn't it error? Cheap and best. Instead, we should say cheap and good. So that is why again and I insist you to speak, to learn degrees of comparison. It's very useful for you to speak as well as to write English properly. Shall we move on to the grammar part? Degrees of comparison. It is most probably called degrees of comparison of adjectives. Adjectives are describe the quality and quantity of noun and pronoun. Once again, I will say you, adjectives are words that describe this boy is tall, this box is large, this pen is thin, this puzzle is difficult, this answer is good, this patient is not well. When we speak about only one person or thing or places, we use positive degree. For example, the sunflower is beautiful. Next, comparative degree. Comparative degree of comparison when we speak about two person or two places or two things are being compared. For example, a rose is more beautiful than a sunflower. Next, superlative degree. So, when we compare more than two person or two things or two places with one another, we use superlative degree. It is the highest degree of adjectives. For example, a rose is the most beautiful flower. Shall we move on to the grammar part? Degrees of comparison. It is most probably called degrees of comparison of adjectives. Adjectives are describe the quality and quantity of noun and pronoun.
To form degrees of adjectives, we should remember the following rules. There are 6 rules. First rule is we add er and est at the end of adjectives to form comparative and superlative degrees. For example, positive, strong, comparative, stronger, superlative, strongest. Second rule, when the positive ends in e, we add only r in comparative and st in superlative to the adjectives. For example, positive, nice, comparative, nicer, superlative, nicest. Third rule, when the positive ends in y, we drop the y, add IER in comparative and IEST in superlative degrees. For example, positive, costly, end is in a y. Comparative degree, y, drop it, IER, we should add costlier. Superlative, costliest. Fourth rule, when the positive is a word of one syllable that ends in consonant, we should add double the consonant ending letter and then add ER in comparative and EST in superlative degrees. For example, positive, fat, A is in a vowel, end is in a consonant letter. So it will come in a double in comparative degree, fatter. Superlative degree also is come in a double and should add EST, fattest. Fifth rule, when the positive is a word of two or more syllables, we add more and most before the adjectives to form comparative and superlative degrees. For example, positive, intelligent, more than two syllable, in, de, li, je. So, how many syllables is there? So, totally 4 syllables is coming. So, that is why in comparative degree, more intelligent, in superlative degree, most intelligent. Is it clear all of you? So, more than 2 syllables, we should add more and most in comparative and superlative degree. Sixth rule, there are some adjectives that do not form the comparative and superlative from that positive. That degrees of adjectives called irregular adjectives. For example, good and well, better and best, evil, ill, worse and worst, much, more, most, many, more, most. You should ask the question me. Why should we add that is much for also is in a more and many also more, most in a superlative degree and comparative degree? Because much is in a uncountable noun. So that is why we should use in a more, most. Many also same is in a countable noun. So that one is called in a more and most, we have to use it. Clear? Late, later and latest. Next, old, older, oldest, old, elder and eldest. Why should I use it elder and older is in a different form of the comparative and superlative degree? Do you know? Because older we got to use it in a other person and other things. Elder in a same person in our household itself. For example, in our siblings, when we compare our siblings, we should use it in a elder or eldest. Is it clear all of you? Next one is little, less, least. Third, last one, near, nearer and nearest. Let's see interchange of degrees of comparison. I mean, how to change one degree to another degree. Interchange of degrees of comparison classified into 3 types. Type 1, tan. Type 2, OMB. Type 3, PC. So, how many types are there? 3 types are there. Type 1, tan. T, the in superlative degree. A, any other or all other in comparative degree. N, no other in positive degree. Let's see all the degrees format as well as examples. If you learn all the degrees format, it will be easy for you to change one degree to another degree. Positive degree format. No other plus subject plus verb plus adjective plus as plus adjective as is in a positive form plus comparing noun. Example, No other man is as strong as Ram. Comparative degree. Comparative degree format is comparing noun plus verb plus adjective plus er plus than plus any other plus or all other plus comparing other noun. Adjective plus er plus than any other all other up to is in a comparative form. Example, Ram is stronger than any other man. Superlative degree. Superlative degree format is comparing noun plus verb plus the plus adjective plus est plus comparing of all the noun. The plus adjective est is in a superlative form. Example, Ram is the strongest man in the world. Type 2 OME model. O, one of the in superlative degree. M, many other or most other in comparative degree. V, very few in positive degree. Positive degree format, very few plus subject plus verb plus as plus adjective plus as comparing noun. Example, very few Indian poets in India are as great as Tagore. Comparative degree. Comparing noun, I mean person or place or thing, plus verb plus adjective plus er plus than, most other or many other. From adjective to up to that many other is in a comparative form plus comparing other noun. Example, Tagore is greater than many other Indian poets. Superlative degree. Comparing noun come in a first. Next, verb plus one of the plus adjective plus est plus comparing other noun. Example, same example we change it in a superlative degree. Tagore is one of the greatest Indian poet. Comparing noun, to whom we are comparing Tagore. Next, verb is one of the. Next est, adjective is in a great, est is in a superlative form. Comparing other noun is in a Indian poets. Is it clear, all of you? Next, type 3 PC model. In this model, there is no superlative degree. When two nouns are compared, in this model, given degree, either positive or comparative, not is given in the sentence. When we change other degree, we should remove the not. Type 3 PC model. Example, Gautam is as tall as Kumaran. This is positive degree. Comparative degree, Kumar is not taller than Gautam. See, given question, not is not there. So we should use it not. Is it clear, all of you? So when we change one degree to another degree, we should not change the meanings. It's very, very important. Is it clear? Today